Hello there. As you get all cozy and ready for bed, I have a little story I'd like to share with you. It's a story about a boy who really loved to dream and how his dreams helped change the whole world. So, just for a moment, before you drift off, I want you to picture a quiet little village, tucked away in some rolling hills, a long time ago. Can you feel that? A soft little breeze on your face? And can you hear the leaves in the trees rustling, like they're whispering secrets? Now, if you look up, you can see the very first stars starting to wake up in the big, dark sky. Well, in this very peaceful village, there lived a boy who loved to dream more than anything. And his name was Leonardo. Our story begins way back, on a warm spring day in the year 1452. In a tiny village in Italy called Vinci, a baby boy was born, and everyone called him Leo. You know, Leo wasn't a loud or a rushed kind of kid. His favorite thing in the whole world was to find a quiet spot, maybe under a big tree or next to a stream, and just watch. And as he watched, his mind just filled up with questions. He'd see the birds soaring way up high and think, how do they stay up there in the sky? He'd watch the water in the river and wonder, why does the water dance and swirl like that? So while all the other kids were running and playing games, Leo would pull out his notebook. He filled up every single page with drawings of all the things he saw, the tiny, perfect petals on flowers, the shape of a bird's wing. And sometimes he'd even try to draw his dreams. And then, when he turned 14 years old, something pretty amazing was about to happen. A whole new chapter of his life was just about to start. Leo's dad saw how special his drawings were, how they seemed almost alive. So he sent Leo away from his quiet little village to the huge, busy city of Florence, so he could learn from a really great artist. Wow! The city was so loud and full of color and new ideas, and Leo loved it. One day, his teacher was working on this giant painting, and he turned to Leo and gave him a very important job. He asked him to paint one small angel in the corner. Just one. So, Leo took his brush and so gently, so carefully, he painted with all his heart. When his teacher finally saw it, he couldn't believe his eyes. The angel, it looked so real, so soft, like it was almost glowing. And people who saw it started to whisper, "The student, he's become the master." But you know what? Leo didn't feel proud or anything. He wasn't thinking about being a master. His curious mind was already flying off to the next idea. He just wondered, what else is there to learn? And that curiosity led him to study everything, especially people's faces. One day, he painted a woman with this really quiet, mysterious smile. It's a smile that looks happy and a little bit sad, all at the same time. The world would later call this painting the Mona Lisa. But Leo didn't stop at painting. Oh no, he was still dreaming about flying, just like those birds he used to watch when he was a boy. He filled his notebooks with the most incredible ideas, drawings for flying machines, special parachutes to float down from the sky, and even these spinning wings that look an awful lot like a helicopter. He was dreaming about the future. He never, ever stopped being curious. He studied plants and water and the stars, everything he could. He had this wonderful idea that he lived by. He said, "Learning never makes you tired." So you see, Leonardo was so many things. He was an artist, he was an inventor, but more than anything else, he was a dreamer. And what's a dreamer? Well, it's just someone who is always full of wonder. So tonight, as you're snuggled up in your bed, getting ready to fall asleep, if your mind is buzzing with all sorts of questions and your heart feels like it's full of wonderful new ideas, just remember that quiet little boy, Leo. And remember this, dreaming is never, ever a waste of time. Dreaming is so important. It's how the whole world changes, one beautiful idea at a time. Sweet dreams. Good night.